Update from last week. Last week we talked about Dart smacking in, but we recorded that like the day that it was happening, like a few hours
Yep.
beforehand.
Yeah.
So now it's happened. Actually has happened this time, and it was actually, I don't know what I was expecting. What were you expecting when you saw Dart? Like, I don't know what I was expecting either when I saw the stream.
So great question. Number one, I just want to key back to something that you'd mentioned last week when we talked about it. Media was all over this because they were streaming it live as it was happening on like CNN and all the other
Yeah.
large media outlets, which was kind of cool
Mm-hmm.
to see. So definitely a win for us space nerds out there, right? Because we broke through the mainstream a little bit more there. But yeah, so expectations. So I think in my mind, I was totally expecting like Armageddon, Hollywood, like you're gonna see it hit, and then you're gonna cut to the other camera, and then explosion, and then whatever else, right? But
Well,
really,
we
in
kind of
reality,
got
and I
that.
think you got yeah,
We
to an
kind of
extent,
got that. There was a second
but
camera for that.
but in real time, all you were seeing was what we're actually watching right now with this. For listeners, there is tons of footage out there of this, and we're watching a GIF right now of it happening in real time, where it just kind of gets closer and closer, and then it just goes black.
With black. It's like, I don't know. I saw like, I kind of like didn't really watch the full thing. Like, it's during the night, and that's usually when like I'm having dinner and whatnot. So like we were doing things, and all of a sudden I looked. I'm like, oh, like it's happening in like 15 minutes. All right, I'm on TV. Let me just flip over to the NASA channel and see what's the coverage like, because I wasn't expecting much of a coverage.
Hmm.
I guess like it when NASA does their own. I mean, when it's a NASA mission, they kind of pull it out, but it was Applied Physics Lab, which like I don't know. Like, I feel like I just maybe it was just like I wasn't given the benefit of the doubt of like being able to have do a high production like live stream of it. But I showed up like, oh, okay, cool. Like they have interviews and like, all right, it's just kind of like a kind of a countdown going till impact. I'm like, all right,
Hmm.
cool. There's no Bruce Willis, but it's pretty good. Um, and all of a sudden, like the video, I was expecting video wise, I was expecting just low quality photos. Like it's gonna be all pixelated. It's not gonna be anything crazy. And also you just kind of see like the two dots, and it starts getting bigger. And I'm like, man, this is kind of cool. Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this is like super high resolution. I wasn't expecting that. Um, and all of a sudden, like you're just watching it, and all of a sudden, red screen, and I got like a
Yep.
partial image. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's awesome. Like, I want to rewatch that. So I was happy I tuned in live. Like, I wasn't really expecting. Like, I don't know. It felt like it was a really cool mission, really awesome mission. But like, I just for some reason like wasn't excited to tune into the live stream because I don't know why. But I was. It was. I'm
Yeah.
glad I did.
One of the cooler parts was definitely watching the control room, because as it was going, they simultaneously had obviously some cameras in the control room. So seeing
Yeah, that's always
everybody
the best
get
part.
super excited, which was cool, because deep down inside we're all like,
I
blow
want
it
to be
up,
there.
blow it up, blow it up, right?
You also all want to be in that same room with them.
Yeah,
Like,
but I think
everyone wants to do
my
it.
favorite thing, kind of going back to what you were saying about how much higher of a resolution you got than what we were totally expecting, is that right there, that last
Yeah,
image before it actually impacts,
you
is
could see
pretty
the
cool.
pebbles, and I
Yeah,
didn't
you
really
could
think
see
about
sort of
this.
everything.
Like, that they didn't really know what the asteroid was made out of. So
Hmm.
now they actually get
Hmm.
to see. And I guess to me, I don't know. I guess I didn't really it didn't maybe it was lost on me on that part because I guess we've seen right the other two missions. I can't just blame on it, but like Ryugu and 67P, like those other comets
Hmm.
and asteroids that like they've either retrieved material from or have done some sort of mission with, and you get to see up close, and it looks like this. So I'm like,
Yep.
oh, I guess I was expecting that, but then it did it on me like, oh yeah, like we never really saw what this thing looks like. So this is our first time getting an image of the thing we're about to just smack into. Uh,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting. And
And
you mentioned about the second camera.
yep.
You
Well,
have
I
to.
was going to just note on this, we don't really know the scale. I mean, at least from this
Oh
image, right?
yeah,
It looks like this looks like asphalt, like you'd walk out on the street and just look down, and that's what it is. But it could be bigger, and it obviously could be smaller, but we have no idea
yeah.
what the scale
Oh yeah,
reference
no
is right
idea.
here, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's a good point. Like kind of it's a not really sure what the scale is of this. I mean, also we don't know how close they were. Like imagine
Yeah.
this was taken from like I don't know how fast it was moving, but it was moving a couple things a second, and I think it was taking like it was like 30 seconds delay.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to think like, and I don't remember how fast. I think I was taking a photo maybe 10 seconds or something. This could have been like from a
Yep.
mile up.
Right,
Like
right,
this
exactly.
could have been from like pretty far away, and we don't know what the zoom is
Yeah,
on
that could be
lenses.
like you're looking at like a football field or something there.
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
Like,
not that big, but yeah, I actually think they said that this one was the size of like a football stadium. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. So interesting to see. Like, I mean, yeah, that's weird. But yeah, like every telescope was trained on this thing, and there was a ride along called from the Italian Space Agency
mhm.
to take photos on the side. So you got your side image. So Hubble got and Webb got images of it, which are cool. You can kind of see the. I like it. You can see Webb has the spider web, the six uh
Mhm.
refractions instead of the like. It even has that on like the impact. Looks Webb's looks kind of demonic. The red like
Yeah, it
kind of
totally looks like something out of Stranger Things.
yeah, it does. That looks kind of like slightly terrifying. But yeah, the Italian Space Agency had a CubeSat, and you got to see. I mean,
That's cool.
it kind of looks like we just destroyed an asteroid. Why? Because we can. That so many memes are going around afterwards about it, just like, oh look, who is this thing buzzing by? Oh, it's a friend. Smacks into the asteroid. Yeah, the asteroid just like did nothing to us, and we're just pelting it with this like massive with the spacecraft, not massive, but like the spacecraft.
That's
Like
cool. That image is cool right
that was
there.
my favorite. Like
It almost looks underwater.
it looks like we just absolutely destroyed this asteroid for no reason.
Yeah.
Um, well, for a reason, but for no reason for that asteroid.
It's for the future
Yeah,
of our
thank you,
species.
Dimorphos, for your sacrifice. But that was last week.
Yeah.
That was a Dart Impact.
Yep.
So we got some
Super
really cool
cool.
images.
Yeah.
Super cool
Definitely, if you get
images.
a chance to go out there, watch the video and some of the coverage, and check out these images for yourself.